Pop Psych, and here's why. It stands for Popular Psychology, and through YouTube, I will become popular, and I'll be a popular psychologist. I'm David Colarosi. No, it's Dr. David Colarosi. I have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy and a PhD in counseling psychology.
You are such a genius.
The 5 Love Languages was a book written by Gary Chapman back in 1992, and it is still as popular as ever today. So for today's vlog, I'm gonna try and display all 5 love languages for my wife by the end of the day. So it is already 1 p.m., so I'm behind, so let's get rocking. So what is this book, and why is it so important? When you first enter a relationship, you are hyper-focused on that other person. You're letting your energy and your lust drive you to be all that you can be in that relationship, right? You're not really who you are. You're just your best representative of yourself in that connection. That changes dramatically as your relationship evolves, right? It changes a lot from when you first start dating. It changes a lot if you get married, and it changes much more once you have children. So think about that. If you're 10 years down the road in a marriage, you've got 3 kids, how much energy and time are you really putting into developing that connection with your partner? Not much. And this book provides a really clear tactical guide to approaching your partner. It helps you be more intentional. So the 5 love languages are touch, and not quite what you're thinking, but touch, words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, and quality time. One aspect of the book that I really like is that it pushes each person in a relationship to think about their needs. Instead of expecting your partner to figure out what your love language is so that they can give it to you, the idea is that you should be figuring out what your love language is and telling your partner what you need. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard, if this person's the right one for me, then they'll just know what I need without me having to ask for it. Well, that's sweet, but not very likely. In a relationship, you have to be able to ask for what you want. And so a big part of Gary Chapman's book is self-evaluation, figuring out the language that works best for you. The other side of the coin is taking time to figure out what your partner needs. What language do they speak? Ask them. And if they don't know, try and figure it out. So, first stop today is Target. I never, and I mean never, buy my wife flowers. It just seems like such a waste of money. You just buy a plant and it dies in 2 weeks. You just lost 20 bucks. But you wouldn't believe, doing a vlog really makes you a better husband. I would never pick those up, but I want you guys to be impressed with me. So now I'm buying flowers. All right, this really isn't a very good example of a gift. I just ran into Target, grabbed the first thing I saw. It was flowers, it's easy. I know it's passable, but there wasn't really much emotional energy spent on that gift. Gifts that create a closer connection, gifts that show your love, are thoughtful. You've put time and energy into identifying the gift, selecting it, and giving it to your partner. One way to think about it is calorie burn. If you've put no energy or effort into the gift, it's probably not going to communicate love very well. But if you spend a lot of time putting a gift together, it can be quite impactful. So my apologies for the flower example. I just wanted something quick and easy, which is by definition not a very good gift. Okay, so now Allison and I are going to go for a run, which counts as quality time. Quality time until the end of the run. when I took her out. Here she is. Let's go, Al! When we talk about quality time, we're really talking about connection. It takes about 20 or 25 minutes of close communication for two people to really feel fully in alignment. So whenever you're interacting with your partner, you want to think about creating a dynamic in which you're not distracted, one in which you can really focus on each other. So you can't substitute TV time or even time at a restaurant with friends for quality time. Next up, acts of service. So we had a couple of parties in our backyard last weekend, and I still haven't cleaned anything up. So I thought I would surprise my wife by picking up while she's out getting the kids. This is my favorite part. When I was working as a therapist, acts of service was the most common love language spoken by my male clients. Now, I'm not saying it's universal, but I would say that sort of stereotypically, or at least in my anecdotal experience, a lot of men showed their love through acts of service. They may not have been great about sharing words of affirmation, and may not have been great about spending quality time, but they showed their love very tangibly, fixing things in the house, taking care of the yard, building furniture. In my opinion, this is a difficult love language to interpret or to feel because it happens in isolation. Right? The other love languages, physical touch, affirmation, gifts, quality time, all involve a one-on-one connection with your partner. But acts of service, sort of by definition, happens alone. You're in the yard, you're in the garage, you're doing things on your own to give back to your partner. And so oftentimes it can feel like it's not really a love language. Next up is words of affirmation. This is my chance to affirm my wife. Validate her. Let her know how she makes me feel. Damn girl, you a parking ticket? Because you got fine written all over you. Are you religious? Because you're the answer to all my prayers. Girl, you know if you were a booger, I'd pick you first. Is your dad a terrorist? Because you're the bomb. Kiss me if I'm wrong. Dinosaurs still exist. Damn, I must be in a museum because you're a work of art. Obviously, that wasn't a great example of words of affirmation. While the pickup lines might have been fantastic, they weren't really supportive of my partner. True words of affirmation would have been validating. I love the dinner you made. You look beautiful. I care about you. I love being in a relationship with you. I love spending time with you. Those kinds of things, things that really create more of a connection with your partner. Dinner is nice. Saying, hey, I appreciated dinner. Or if they were on a business meeting.
I'm going to bed.
This is the physical touch one. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys here. So when people think about physical touch, they typically think about sex. And while sex is part of physical touch, it's really a lot more than that. What Dr. Chapman was talking about is creating a connection with your partner through touch. So that's holding hands, touching shoulders, giving a massage, putting your arm around someone, just showing that you care about your partner by touching them. So people always joke that it's the favorite one and that every guy's particular love language is physical touch, but the reality is that it's actually a lot less common than you would think. So Al, how did today go? Did you have a good day?
It was a great day.
I think I became fluent in all 5 love languages. Quality time, we went for a run together.
Fluent?
I tested the waters for all 5 of them. Words of affirmation, beautiful pickup lines. Physical touch was appropriate in just a massage. acts of service. I clean the backyard. And gifts, flowers. The world's luckiest woman.
I think we should go back to the narcissist video.
Editing this video right now and I realize that I haven't provided any critique. So let me start by saying I think the book is fantastic. I think it adds great value to a relationship. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the idea that it helps people be more intentional in the way that they approach their partners, I think is fantastic. My only critique is that the book assumes people only receive love in their language. A couple times in the book, Dr. Chapman talks about how to respond to people that aren't giving you your love language. And his response is to identify their love language and give it to them, and hopefully they'll come around and burn the calories required to learn your love language and speak that language to you. And I think that that's pretty unrealistic. There are a lot of people that are never going to take the time to figure out what your love language is. In that case, I think it's beneficial for you to try and figure out where your partner is showing love to you. So for example, if my love language is words of affirmation and my partner is not giving that to me, I should first tell my partner what I need. Step two should be figure out how your partner is communicating love to you. Maybe my partner is really thoughtful about supporting me in other ways than my particular love language. I think it's important that people are willing to receive love in different ways. I hope that makes sense. I hope it's helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.